Je suis Natasha Nice et vous écoutez Our Brains Hurt.
Well, they needed a jingle for their stupid little show, so they called up the Jasons and we said, fuck no. Then they called us again and they gave us $20 and we wrote them a song that said, your podcast sucks. Then they gave us more money and they asked us really nice and we finally gave in and we said, alright, I'll write you a song, but it's gonna be a clone of the Screeching Weasel song that we heard a while ago. So we wrote them a jingle and it sounded really rad. It was the best little jingle that their podcast ever had, but the file got corrupted and the email didn't work. Now they're stuck without a jingle singing Our Brains Hurt. Our brains hurt, our brains hurt, our brains hurt. Our brains hurt, our brains hurt, our brains hurt. Our brains hurt, our brains hurt, our brains hurt. Our brains hurt, our brains hurt, our brains hurt. In a very non-copyright infringing sort of way.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Our Brains Hurt. This episode is brought to you by PunkBox. Head over to punkboxrocks.com. That's punkboxrocks.com for your monthly subscription service to punk rock merch. Everything you would find at a punk rock merch table at a punk show sent to your house once a month. This could include stickers, button patches, koozies, vinyl, cassettes, CDs, everything you could think of once a month. It's an awesome subscription service, punkboxrocks.com. This show is also brought to you by Merch Slut. Head over to merchslut.com for awesome band t-shirts, punk rock band t-shirts. Merch Slut gets her shirts directly from the band or the label. These are not cheap knockoffs. She also has a wide array of awesome punk rock merch. Merchslut.com. Now, let's get to the show. Today we're talking to Natasha Nice, adult film star. This is our second adult film star on the show.
Second time.
Yeah. And first one was very popular. And Natasha is
Also very
extremely
popular.
Yeah, exactly. And she is in the room, so
Cool.
roll.
Hi.
Hey,
How
how's it
are
going?
you?
Good. How's it going?
Thanks so much for taking the time out to do this.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. My pleasure.
How was Costa Rica?
Oh my God, it was awesome. I kind of just chilled and did a lot of nothing. And then I swam and shot some content and like walked down to the beach and surfed a little bit and then did some more nothing. It was great.
Nice. Very cool.
Yeah.
You go there often?
No, it's my second time going there, but I like to travel and I've just been in a traveling mood. So I went last October and like did like this little surf school thing for like a week, and I really liked it there as far as surfing went. So I went back on my own.
Nice.
Yeah.
I've never surfed.
You never surfed? Yeah, it's kind of
No,
hard.
I used to skateboard back in the day.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Where are you from originally? You were born in France?
Yeah, I was born in France, and then when I was 3, my mom and sisters, we moved to California, to Southern California, where I've been pretty much my entire life. Well, I spent like 5, 6 years in San Francisco, but other than that, I'm like a Cali girl.
Cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. Are you still there now?
In California, yeah, I was in San Francisco for 5, 6 years, and then I moved back down to Southern California to be closer to family after the pandemic hit, and to kind of like take my MILF career by storm or whatever.
Yeah.
There's not much porn up there.
Right.
And so I've been down here for like 3 years, 2, 3
Cool.
years. Yeah.
When you first started, did you start acting first, or did you get into the adult industry first?
No, I just jumped headfirst into porn. I think I remember when I was little, my mom had us do like voiceovers for commercials.
Okay.
But I don't think she liked the people that we were meeting.
Mm.
So we stopped doing those. But that was like forever ago. And then when I turned 18, I was 18 in 2 months, and I just kind of dove right into porn.
What made you like kind of take that leap into the industry?
Oh yeah, I had just turned 18. There's like a few things going on. I was like coming into my body and everything, and like when I was younger, like people kind of like shamed my boobs, and I didn't feel like being ashamed of them. So I kind of had like this buildup of like fuck you going on. And that kind of culminated into me taking my clothes off. And then the other thing that was going on was that I was dating somebody, and I dated a drug dealer because I was 18 years old, and he got fucking robbed because that's what happens when you sell drugs.
Mm-hmm.
And he was going to move back to where he was from, which was up north. And I was like, dude, I just gave up like a scholarship to a school in Paris for your ass. Like, you're fucking staying. So we needed money. And then he was rooming with a girl, with a guy whose girlfriend was Carly Montana. Wait, Carly Montana? Yeah, Carly Montana. This redhead girl only, super hot, but from back in the day. And so she started telling me, like, you're really pretty. You should do girl porn. And I'm like, okay, I don't fucking fuck it.
Yeah.
So I like went on Google and I looked up how to become a porn star. And then I found sexy jobs and I posted a resume. And some weirdos hit me up. I did a solo for one such weirdo. And then an agent hit me up and I went and I met him and I was like, hi. And he's like, hi. Anyways, and then I signed with him because he was the first one, and why the fuck not? Yeah.
Well, here you are.
And here I am, like 16, 17 years later.
Yeah, and you just got congratulations, by the way, because you were inducted into the X-Rated Critics Organization Hall of Fame recently.
Yeah, they put me in the Hall of Fame with like some amazing fucking people. I was like honestly more amazed with the rest of the list than with my own name, but I'm like so excited that they inducted. Sorry, there's two birds right there fucking. I'm so or they're fighting or fucking or okay, so
Or both.
anyways. Yeah, I was fucking really caught off guard by it and really, really honored. I feel like it's one of the greatest things you can accomplish in porn. So,
That's cool.
Yeah, congratulations.
Yeah. You know, when I hit you up on Twitter for the first time, I was like, there's no way I'm going to hear back from Natasha, because just like, I don't know, you're just like super all over the place as far as the industry goes. So
hang on, your Twitter is the Caffeine Punk.
Yes,
that's correct.
You had me at Punk.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, because I think a lot of people think I'm maybe like snooty or innocent because my last name's nice, and so I was like, oh, a punk sees me. Fuck it, let's do it.
Are you into punk music at all?
I like all music.
Okay, cool.
All of it. Yeah. Even country, even mariachi, even
Nice.
instrumental, punk, rock, rap, all of it.
Sweet.
Yeah.
It was there like a certain scene or movie you did early on that kind of caught everybody's attention, or was it just your whole kind of body of work? Like when were you like sought after, like highly sought after?
When I was 18, I was just like a fucking bag floating through the wind. I was just like, whatever, whoever shoots me, whatever. But so I never really paid much attention to why they were interested in me. I just figured, okay, they saw me or they heard about me. And everybody always said, Natasha, this movie's about you. Okay. This movie, it's all about you, which I now realize meant that I was going to be on the cover or I was like the star. But at the time I was like, okay, they're saying this on every set. They probably say this to everyone. So I was, a little skeptical. I was like, no, it's not. You say this to everyone. So I don't think I realized how big of a splash I was making, just because whatever. But I think when I started to notice like my name kind of rise to fame is like a few years in, I started getting booked for bigger things like features with New Sensations, and just like I was on like all of the magazine covers at one point and all of the DVD covers at one point. I was shooting nonstop, and so it like, and then I got nominated for stuff. So I think like a few years in is when I started to realize that I was a notable creature.
Mm-hmm. Did your family know? Do they know about it? I'm sure they do now. And how long did it take them? Did they know right away?
Well, when I shot my first scene for Bang Bros, they told me in the makeup chair, I forget how the conversation came up, but they told me in the makeup chair, like, everybody's going to know you after this. Like, everybody's going to see this. And I was like, oh, fuck. I kind of thought porn was more like, I didn't know that there were awards. I just, because to me, porn was like my dirty little secret. Like my parents would come home and quickly close it and be like, I'm working on my essay, guys, like, so to me, it was a dirty little secret. So I had no idea how big of a deal it was that it was, there were awards and everything. Bang Bros told me everybody's going to know you after this. And sometime later, I was at a family event and my cousin said that her ex-boyfriend saw me. And wait, was that it? No, it was my mom who confronted me. My mom confronted me and said that my cousin's boyfriend saw me, who told my cousin, who told her mom, my aunt, who told my mom, and voila. So I don't know why family feels it's so necessary to let you know that they've seen your pussy. I feel like that's really weird.
Yeah, it is weird.
My family did find it very important. They kind of took the stance of like, we care about your health and everything, but they also took the stance of like, it's shameful and degrading. So I just kind of blocked it all out. I was like, none of these opinions have any validity.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah, and it's taken me a while to kind of get them to get off my case, this is going to sound fucked up, but I make more than all of them.
Yeah.
So they can't really attack me on the front of like, you're not building anything for yourself. Right. But, they just worry that like I'm going to hell, which for them is valid.
Yeah. So they're religious then.
Because unfortunately they believe all that stuff. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Oh, so it's still to this day has not been a
no, that's not
great.
true. I've made progress with like the head women in my life. Like my mom finally told me like, I don't think you can judge a woman by what she does with her body. And I was like, I looked at the phone. I was like, what the fuck? And then my aunt called me like a year ago and she kind of said something along the same lines. She's like, I just want you to know that I don't judge anything you do. I'm very happy for you as long as you're doing whatever you want. And I don't know if I buy that, but I appreciated the attempt.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think they just saw that I was becoming more and more empowered as time went on. So they kind of had to like relinquish that perspective.
Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of things have changed in the last 20, 30 years too. In just as far as people perceiving individuals, especially women and what they do for work, it has come a very, very long way in the last 20 years. So at least there's some progress there.
Yeah. I don't know how old you guys are, but I was born in 88. So that sexual revolution was like happened before I was even born. So I kind of came into a world where I don't remember ever questioning whether or not I had the right to do anything. I felt equal. I was also naive because I was young. So I didn't realize that there were very real inequalities, but I at least felt that I mattered just as much as anybody else. So for that reason, I never questioned whether or not I should do what I wanted to do. And since I was sexually repressed and turning that age, what I needed to do was like, fuck. So I didn't question whether or not it was ethical.
Right.
Yeah. I think the 80s had a lot to do with a lot of that. I mean, obviously the end of the 60s and the summer of love and moving into the 70s, but the 80s really, is where a lot of the walls like totally came down.
Oh yeah. Why is that? Was that like music or?
Maybe there was just, the 80s was just a weird decade. Like people just started showing their inner self on their outside, I guess is the best way to say it, like way more than it had been in previous decades. I don't know, in my opinion, at least.
So I'm a product of Madonna, basically.
Yeah, we all are.
Yeah. We all are. Thank you.
Yeah. I think that was the first poster I ever had in my bedroom was Madonna. So. Yeah, Matt and I were born in the late 70s, so
okay,
we got 10 years on you.
The punk rock revolution kind of had a lot of the same kind of
very true,
building blocks as I think what you've gone through as well, or
right. It's just similar. Feeling oppressed and being like, yeah, I'm not going to respect that opinion.
Yeah.
They're different forms of art, but they're very similar.
Correct me if I'm wrong. I feel like a good punk person would make fun of me.
Would make fun of you?
Sure.
Sex work is well respected in the punk rock community.
Okay.
Because of those things we just talked about. I think that there's when you're willing to go against societal norms, I think there's something in you that makes you like long for something else. and it makes you also appreciate other people who take those same stances, whether it's art or acting or whatever. And it's also a very kind of do-it-yourself. You are like a businesswoman because you are your brand. So I mean, you basically you had to build everything that you have, you know. And a lot of time, I'm not comparing like punk rock bands to making an adult film, but you know, you still have to go about you have to do everything your own way and then get by on your own. And I think, you know, that leads to appreciation across the board.
I mean, I definitely appreciate, you know, the crazies in society, just the people who are kind of outcast or self-proclaimed crazy, just because, I don't know, I feel like they would see me more. Whereas like when you make an effort to more fit in, which is whatever, they have their fucking reasons for that. But when you make an effort to do all that, I just feel like you can't see as much of a person.
Yeah. Agreed. How did you dodge all the like sketchy requests you must have got when you were starting? Because I'm sure you probably still get really strange requests and emails. But it must have been a lot more when you were younger and kind of new to everything. Did you have somebody help you navigate through the bullshit?
I did not. I really think agents should. I don't know, maybe I'm supposed to inundate them with questions. I didn't have anybody helping me navigate. I don't know how I said no because I wasn't exactly good at setting boundaries. I mean, I did have an agent and he kind of, you know, just told me where to show up and then I'd show up. I just don't remember ever getting into a situation where I was like, this isn't good for me or I need to leave. Maybe I was just lucky or maybe I had some sort of, I don't remember, but maybe I had some sort of inner intuition and that kept me away from people. I am kind of a solo person. I can be very, very introverted and just like to chill on my own. So I probably did that a lot, even though I had a boyfriend.
Yeah.
So let's see. So if 88 when you were born, did like direct messaging even like really exist when you first started?
Like AIM?
Yeah. So it's like
yes. But I didn't have it much. I mean, yeah, I used AIM because I had a boyfriend who lived on not a boyfriend, but a crush who lived on the other side of the world. So we messaged a lot and emailed a lot. And then other than that, no, not until I got my first cell phone. I think I was like 17 or 16.
It wasn't as big back in those days. Again, that's another thing. We've come a long way in a very short period of time.
Yeah, Twitter wasn't even that big of a deal. I had one, it got taken down forever ago because I let someone manage it and he got it overrun by bots. But and then I made a new one when I came back from my break in 2015. And that's to me when I really started seizing like social media.
And I'm sure that also brought a little bit more of what Ron was talking about there too, which is
oh yeah, for sure. I mean, I know I shouldn't read the comments. I know it, but sometimes I do just to see if anybody in the industry responds, and they never do. It's always the fans. That's fine. Some of my fans are like regulars and I really like them. But then there are some comments that the fans make and I'm just like, what? I want to retweet them, honestly, because they're just so remarkably dumb. They're not even creepy. They're just kind of, it's just, they get annoying sometimes. Like 10-15% of them I just wish would not say anything. So I want to retweet them because they're fascinating, but I just feel like that'd be fucked up.
Since people tend to focus on the negative so much nowadays, I'm going to go the opposite. What's the nicest thing a fan has ever done for you? If you can think, or just a nice thing in general that you were like, wow, I can't believe a fan.
Well, when I was in Costa Rica, I posted a video of like, I went through these shops in Tamarindo with a college girlfriend of mine who met me there. And there was a fucking sloth, which I bought, by the way, but I did a little scan video of the sloth and I posted it on my OnlyFans. And I said, and it said it was $38. And I said, it would just be so much more meaningful if it came from you. And a fan tipped me $38 to buy the sloth.
Sweet.
That's nice.
Yeah, I do kind of like teddy bears.
Oh, it's not a real sloth. It was a
okay. Fuck those. They have roaches in their fucking fur. They're not.
Do they really? Okay.
They're not as cute as their emoticon. No.
They look so cute. I'll just look at them online then, because
yeah, look up what's in their fur.
I can't imagine they smell terrific.
Ew.
Yeah.
So I did see a bunch of monkeys too in the tree, and like they were baby monkeys, so they were really bad at jumping from branch to branch. And one of them fell like 15 feet. I thought it was gonna die. I like
Yeah.
gasped, but then it caught itself.
I've never seen a monkey in the wild.
Dude, they're so fucking cool.
They're terrifying to me.
I don't know.
I probably watched too many like pandemic movies though, and it always seems to come from a monkey in a movie. It's like you get scratched and then the whole world dies 5 days
Yeah,
later.
of course. I mean, well, yeah, that's how it happens.
They just seem so fast and like you can't get away from them if you wanted to.
I think they like us though. I don't know.
Yeah.
They make fun of
guess so.
us. They steal our shit.
Yeah.
Funny.
You ever see the video of the monkey that tried to steal a kid, kidnap a kid?
No.
It's hilarious. Well, it's not. I mean, it's hilarious.
Is it on YouTube?
Yeah, it's on YouTube. Just Google it after this. It like there's this little kid
Like a
playing.
baby?
Yeah, like a toddler. Like she's probably 2. And this monkey rolls up and grabs her arm and just starts running away and dragging her down the street. But he eventually like drops her.
Is this like an
Is it a
ape?
big monkey?
Is this
No,
an
it's not a
ape?
big monkey.
Oh
No, it's like
oh.
I don't know. It's just a monkey.
Oh.
Monkey, whatever.
It's like
That
a
is
baboon,
funny. I'm
maybe.
gonna watch that.
It's not even that big. It's but it's freaky. And so I don't know. Yeah. So, hide your kids if you have monkeys.
Hide your kids in Costa Rica.
Yeah. If you take anything from this episode.
I'm totally gonna watch that.
How has the industry changed since when you started? Were they still making like full length movies?
Oh yeah.
Or okay, yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Wicked was making features. New Sensations was making features. Adam and Eve, Vivid, I think, Digital Playground. All those companies.
Do they still make features?
New Sensations does. Wicked does. Now newer companies make them too.
Mhm.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay. So when you see like if you go on like Pornhub and all these sites that have like clips,
Mhm.
like 10-minute clips or whatever. So are most of those clips from features, or do you also do some work where it's just 10 to 20 minute scenes or something like
I
that?
honestly don't do that many features.
Okay.
I don't know why. But the ones on my profile, they're mostly from scenes or like compilations, best of kind of thing.
Mhm.
But I think if you see a scene from a feature on Pornhub, that's totally possible. It'll just be like the first 10 minutes of the sex scene.
Right.
And I don't know if they're going to let you know in the tags or the description or title if it's part of a feature or not.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
why you want to see more of my movie? Is that what?
Well, yeah, of course. Trust me, I've seen.
I don't want it.
I've seen lots. How has OnlyFans changed the industry, if at all?
Oh, it definitely has. I noticed like just a lot fewer big name girls actively shooting. They're going to spend more time on the OnlyFans because the OnlyFans just makes more money per day of content. So there's that. And I think just the markets, like the viewers kind of prefer something a little bit more homemade. It just feels more real. I think their minds and their nervous systems have just been inundated with like really perfectly looking saturated porn. And now they're like, okay, we're not buying it anymore. Like we know this isn't real. We know this isn't how women's bodies look. Like we want to see a pimple here and there, some cellulite, whatever. We want to see the fucked up looking bedroom, not this perfectly decorated white couch with whatever. So the brains of the viewer is just like, it's shifted. And then the technology or the platforms have gotten simpler, like NatashaNice.com, what I have. It's like a perfect example of how sites were when I first started. It's just like a big landing page and like several pages of content. And there's just a lot to get distracted by. And so it's really hard for the viewer to like decide to finally sign up, especially because it was also like $30 or $20 a month. And then OnlyFans is just so simple. There's only 2 colors on the page. And it's like you sign up really quick and then you just watch a bunch of shit on your phone. And it feels like it's one of your fuck toys sending you shit personally because it's so real looking. It's not like Yeah. I mean, there's still a huge market for the perfect looking porn,
Mhm.
with lots of colors and everything looks amazing. And I still like that stuff too. But there's also something really like I've developed a desire to see a girl with a fat ass and cellulite,
Mhm.
which is
Yeah.
weird. Like that's not something that like Maxim magazine would show me or anything, but it's just hot
Yeah.
because it's like I just want to squeeze it because it's real. Yeah.
Agreed. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's easier for a guy to kind of throw himself into the scene in his imagination if it's more real than if it's all,
Perfect.
professional and stuff like that.
It's also less addicting too. Like it's probably less addicting. I don't know. I don't know any of the data on that, but I would imagine that all the porn with like that looks perfect and it has a perfect flow from beginning to end. It's like you watch that and then you have sex with like your girlfriend or someone real. And obviously she doesn't match that. It's probably kind of hard for a guy to
Yeah.
finish. But when he can appreciate the realness of it all, like her double chin and missionary or the fact whatever the fuck it may be,
Yeah.
like or a messy bedroom, then it's like it's less pressure to come, I think. Does that make any
Yeah.
sense?
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
it does.
it does. It totally makes sense. It's reading about like high school age people nowadays. Like I think exactly what you were just saying is the reason why, and not to say that this is a good or a bad thing, but like sex numbers are like way down with high school age teenagers. And I think that probably plays a large part in it. So the
That
more,
they're addicted to porn or
yeah, I mean that's probably one reason. I mean,
A lot
I
of people
would
in their 20s too.
very easily accessible, not so much, or like when I was a teenager, that wasn't exactly, so much a
Yeah.
thing that we could do.
yeah.
I mean, if you can imagine a teenage boy with an access to every fantasy he's ever
Right.
had at the touch of a button, like,
Yeah.
teenage boys sometimes tend to be pretty lazy. You have to imagine.
Yeah.
But doesn't that make them want it more because they're seeing it on the screen and they know what they like and now they want to go find it in the real world? Or are they just like, I already came, now I'm gonna play it.
I mean, I would tend to have the same mentality as you on that, but the data suggests differently.
Oh damn, I don't want to blame porn for kids not connecting.
I don't
Because
think.
I honestly, my phone is the reason I don't connect with people because all
Yeah,
of my needs are met through my phone except
Yeah.
for the human contact.
I
yeah.
think more of it is the phone than can be blamed solely on the adult film industry. I think the phone definitely is a large part of that. But
Yeah, because now if they want to actually fuck, they don't have the personality skills to go out and meet somebody, and
Yeah.
it's just all give it to me real fast on a screen.
Right.
You
Make
know.
it simple, make it comfortable and convenient.
Yeah.
I mean,
And-
I'm like that too. And I spot that in myself and I'm like, fuck, I have to change that. Like I need to practice socializing. I need to like read more and like go find groups and stuff. And I make little moves in that direction. And then I go back to my
Mhm.
phone.
But I think what you were saying though, where like, you've acquired this taste for something different that's more real.
Yeah.
I think that being the point of having that more helps like the industry.
Of having what more?
Like how you said, like, you're more into like,
Big fat jiggly butts. Yeah.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, realness.
I think
Yeah.
making it more real stuff like that, helps, with
It does help. And it's helped me with my body image, honestly, which is like a big deal for like any chick and probably dudes too. I'm just like, oh, okay, now I don't need to look like that. It's totally fine to look like that because that just like turned me on. So if she can look like that, then I can look like that. And
Yeah.
it's just like,
Yeah.
yeah. So I guess everything has its pros and cons to it.
Oh, for
Yeah.
sure.
Same with like the emergence of, I don't know if MILF porn was like a big deal back when you started. But that kind of also will help somebody to prolong their career, because now you were just nominated for MILF of the Year. Is that correct?
Yeah, I was nominated for MILF of the Year at XRCO and then XBiz AVN earlier in the year. And when I was new, I was just like focused on whatever I was doing. So I didn't really look at the whole landscape of porn. But I do remember Lisa Ann's name coming up all the time, with Nail and Palin and stuff. And which was like a huge deal.
Yeah.
Of course, I remember Julia Ann, but those are I might remember more if I read their name, but yeah, that was kind of it. And then I sort of resisted the MILF thing for a while. I think at 28 they were asking me to do MILF, and I was like, "What? Of
Really?
course not!" Like I was
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
"No, I'm not gonna do MILF." And so they just kept me in the babe category. There's teen, babe, and MILF, and those are kind of the
Okay.
three categories that they put girls' names in. And so I stuck with the babe category for a while. And then after a while, I just got over myself and I'm like, fuck it, dude. MILFs are hot. Like
Oh
I
yeah.
see a MILF's body and it's just so well kept and well maintained, at least the MILFs who are successful. And
Yeah.
and I'm like, I want to be like that. I want to be like a strong, like go-getter, like when I get older. So I kind of just stepped into it. And a lot of my fans really like my mommy stuff. I think it's because I have like a little sweet voice and a perverted mind,
Hmm.
and then big mommy titties. So
Yeah.
I think it was the right move.
Yeah.
That,
Yeah.
That's
that-
something you could do for a long time.
I could do it. Well, the scenes, they're not as frequent
Mhm.
and numerous as they are when you're in the other two categories. They sort of drop off here and there. And so you have no choice but to kind of, take care of your other ventures like OnlyFans or webcamming or whatever else you do, shipping or whatever.
Right.
And so then it's kind of hard to rationalize shooting at that point because, you focus on your OnlyFans and your OnlyFans grows like crazy.
Yeah.
And then it's like, well, do I really want to drive an hour and a half into LA to go shoot
Right.
a scene? And I have to remind myself to do it, to always keep it part of my career, even if I don't really want to, just because it's like, you never know what's going to happen with all
Right.
these laws on content creation. So I keep it on my repertoire, but it's just OnlyFans has kind of made it not as exciting sometimes.
Yeah.
oh yeah, that's an excellent point. How have those laws affected you?
You have to be much more cautious. Like, it's you think like you can just go for a hike and film yourself with your titties out taking a piss, and that would be awesome solo content,
Mhm.
right? But you can't because it's public nudity and it's peeing, and OnlyFans doesn't allow either of those. Like right now, I'm contemplating filming my next vacation, and I'm like, I can't put anything on there that involves other people. Like I wanted to just do like I'm going to France. I wanted to just do myself eating snails at a restaurant. And I'm like, well, what if I catch the waiter or the other people, the
Yeah.
other patrons? Like, I just don't think, even if I blur them out, I'm not even sure how OnlyFans would feel about that. So, and I kind of agree with their laws because consent really needs to matter much more than it does. But um, I don't know. I don't know
Yeah.
how I'm going to shoot content that isn't sexual because that's also part of where our careers are headed is towards something more mainstream. So I don't really know how I'm supposed to shoot anything if I can't film anybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have more rules now.
Has OnlyFans gotten to the point where you're actually bringing in more income from OnlyFans than movies?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, like I really could survive on OnlyFans and nothing else. But like I was kind of broke when I was growing up. Like my family made like $2,000 a month,
Mhm.
and we were like a family of five. So like, and then we started making as porn stars, we started making like back in the day when I was 19, if I had $5,000 in my bank account, I was like, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
And then like
I'm
when
rich.
OnlyFans started, I was like, oh my God, I have $10,000 in my bank account. And that's huge. That's 5 times more than what my family was making. But since then, the numbers have grown so much higher than that, that it's like, it's really unwise to not focus the majority of your time on your OnlyFans,
Mhm.
especially because this career doesn't last forever. We'll have to wait and see. But
Yeah.
yeah.
Because there was some people that were almost like made instant millionaires when that platform turned itself on. Actually, I think they were a few people that.
Yeah, like instantly, like within
Yeah.
a few months, they had, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I do really well. I put shit away for my taxes, obviously, and then I pay someone who helps me with like all the other stuff in my day. But after expenses, I'm still making, so for someone who grew up broke, like I'm super happy with
Yeah, that's
what I'm
cool.
making. I try not to compare myself to the millionaire a month kind of people.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck those people. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. I mean,
You mentioned that you came back from a break in 2015.
Yeah, I went back to school. There was like a few reasons I left. There was like, drugs, a boyfriend, and I didn't want to do anal yet. So I left for a little bit. I went back to school to see if there was anything else I wanted to do. And I like tampered with marine biology and international business and computer science before I got just bored with the outside world and came back to porn. Yeah,
Gotcha.
and I was very well received, so I kind of haven't looked back since.
Cool. How long of a break was it?
It's like 4 years.
Oh, wow.
exactly the amount of time to go to school.
Yeah.
Imagine that.
How about that? Well, I think I left in 11 or 12 and then came back at the end of 15.
Yeah. Is there anything that you like won't do? You mentioned anal, but you do anal now.
I do anal now. Yeah. As
Yeah.
soon as I got back, I started doing anal and DP. Is there anything I won't do? I don't do double cocks in either of my holes. And on webcam, I don't do anal or use the N word. Just stopped doing that. Is there anything I don't? Oh, I don't really do like BDSM very much
Okay.
at all, ever. I don't really like pain just for the sake of inflicting it.
Yeah. Gotcha.
I do like it on my butt though. Like when someone spanks me really hard, it's a thrill.
Nice.
Yeah.
I've heard that before.
Yeah.
So meaty, it just has so much cushion. Begging to be spanked.
Have you ever had any like embarrassing moments during a movie? During like a filming session or
I shit
something?
pretty bad on Make Blue once. I still
You
feel
what?
bad
You should.
about that. It was one of my first anal scenes, and I was still not quite sure how much to clean out.
Uh-huh.
And the more you clean out, the more juice you're putting up there, and it doesn't always come back down right away.
Uh-huh.
So I walked towards the bathroom halfway through our scene, and I was like, I'm gonna go clean up, and I turn around, and I just see McBlue like this. He's just like, hang on. I just see McBlue like covered in shit, going like, what the hell, Natasha, but without saying it. And so I just turned around and I was like, I'm sorry. And like went to the bathroom and we finished it, but yeah. I still feel, every time I see him, I'm like, does he remember?
I mean, I'd have to imagine those are the hazards of the job. Like you probably gotta understand it's gonna happen at least once in your career, I would imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah, if not more.
Yeah, to that extent, it happened twice actually.
And that was when you first started doing anal.
Yeah, right when I first started doing anal. But anyways, I've gotten much better at it. Now I just know exactly what to do, and it's never a problem. A humbling career.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's cool that you could like mention that and laugh about it too, because that's important.
It's reality.
Yeah.
Well, I did a boy-girl scene not too long ago with a girl who was new at anal, and like his dick came out and there was like some shit around her anus, and it looked gross and it smelled gross because my face was right there. And I was just like, okay, let me get a baby wipe. And then we just wiped it clean, and I was still I would still fuck her. So it's not like the type of thing that like, I mean, I don't know, maybe for you guys, but for me, I'm just kind of over it. Like bodily functions occur during sex.
Right.
It happens. My philosophy, if you're not willing to get dirty, it's not worth it.
Yeah, my ex-boyfriend used to say, if you play in the mud, you're gonna get muddy.
Yeah.
Words to live by. Yeah. What do you like to do in your free time?
Yeah, I'm trying to develop some hobbies. I really like surfing and snowboarding. And when I don't feel like doing that, I'm just getting really into travel lately, like planning a trip. I'm planning a like 30-day trip through Europe in the summer.
Nice.
Yeah, that's
Have you been
it.
back to France since you were a kid?
Swimming. Oh yeah. I went twice when I was before turning 18 with my family, and then I went 2 or 3 times for filming. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, and then I'm going back again in July.
It seems so nice though.
Me neither.
Yeah, it's cool. I'm debating whether or not I want to look at the churches because I feel like churches are so overrated, but there's apparently like a lot of Gothic architecture.
Mm.
So I think if I can just do a tour, like my own little tour where I just look at it from that perspective, that could be interesting, like just the architecture
Yeah.
itself and not all the meaningless religious
Right.
crap,
Yeah,
because
totally.
it's formed by the Romans, so it's like super religious, but
Yeah.
um
Yeah.
yeah. There's a lot of sides to Paris. I feel like I've talked to people and the only thing they seem to know about Paris is the luxury and like the shopping and shit. And I'm like, you can shop in LA. It's
Right.
not a city about shopping. Like it's a city about like intellectualism and like rebellion and like
Mhm.
there are a lot of dark, dark, dark aspects of Parisian history that, just trying to like the human just trying to like liberate itself,
Mhm.
that are really beautiful. But I think people just see us as like stuck up twats, which is a bummer.
I want to see those catacombs.
I know.
Oh
I
yeah.
don't know if I want to see that. That's the one thing I don't know if I want to see. But I want to see where like everybody revolted. I want to go see where Marie Antoinette got her head cut off. Like I want to see where they liberated the Bastille. Like I want to see everything where people like fought their asses off to be
Yeah.
like, fuck you. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's very punk rock.
Yeah.
That's
I
awesome.
mean, they're still doing it today.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I was watching a documentary on it yesterday, and they were kind of talking about like a communist revolt. And I didn't realize that it was a communist revolt. And I was like, man, these people are fierce. And then it turned out to be communists. And I was like, oh shit, am I a communist then? Like, yeah, they lost in the end, but
Yeah.
it's still commemorated.
Are you fluent in French because of growing up there when you were a kid, or was that something you went back and did?
No, so I left when I was 3, so it was like the first language that I heard, and then my dad rejoined us a few years later, and that was the language that they spoke at home. So I always heard it, and then they sent me to a French elementary, middle school, high school called Lycée Français in Los Feliz, California. So we got to go there for free because we were French citizens.
Oh, cool.
And so that's where like so by then English was already my language, but then I relearned French um from the age of like 9 to 17.
Very
Cool.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know I have to freshen up a little bit before I go though, just for the accent, because I don't want them to be like, oh, another American
Yeah, exactly.
ruining our beautiful town.
Do you get a lot of like when you go out and do shit, do you get a lot of recognition? I would imagine you do. Especially
Yeah.
where around where you live, like in LA. You're in Southern California, LA.
Yeah, I'm a little bit south of LA. I'm technically Orange County.
Okay.
Um, but I do get recognized a lot. I get a lot of people who just kind of stare at me for a while. And yeah, the other day I went to, what did I do? Oh, I went to Rock of Ages in LA with my friend, with my
Mhm.
girlfriend. And like a lot of dudes there recognized me. And as I was walking to my car with my girlfriend, this guy comes up to me and he's like, I know you. Do you know Natasha Nice? And I was walking to my car. So I was kind of like, I don't know if I should like get this guy. I was like, no, but I know who you're thinking of. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's like, are you sure? Let's keep walking. Let's keep walking.
Yep.
Yeah.
Totally sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm going to ask you these 3 questions that we ask everybody on the show. So, if you were on death row, what would your final meal be? I know you mentioned snails earlier.
I'm gonna have those for the first time.
Okay.
Oh, you've never had them before.
I've
I
never
had them once, but I don't think it counts because I was with this girl that we were like semi-dating or whatever. And so we decided to go eat snails, and I just didn't want to, but she made me. So I ate a snail with a huge piece of bread, and I just like swallowed it like that.
Yeah, that
I
doesn't.
didn't really like,
Yeah.
grow a pair and do it.
You
But
ingested it.
I'm going to do that, frog legs and French onion soup.
Nice.
Whatever else I can find.
I've had escargot many times, and it is delicious.
Is it? Okay.
100%. It is so good.
Okay. Cool. It's like chewy, right?
Yeah, like,
Chewy, buttery.
do you like clams?
No, I've never had one.
Oh
or
wow.
scallops.
Okay, so they're similar. Clams and escargot are somewhat similar, I'd say, in consistency at least.
Okay.
But as far as like the taste goes with snails, all you really taste is like the garlic butter. It's like, and some places will have like pesto on them too, like garlic butter pesto.
I wanna pick it out of its shell.
Yeah, a lot of restaurants serve them like that too, and it's cool. They give you a little fork to do it too,
Okay.
little tiny fork, and you dig them out.
Are they alive
like-
when you eat them?
No, they're
Okay.
they have them in their shell. And
I have no
We just go grab them from the ground and turn them upside down. Like you're mine
Matt would
now.
eat. Matt would eat a snail in the garden. That's why I asked him.
Well, no, that's very dangerous. They have to be cooked.
Yeah. Okay.
But they basically like melt garlic butter in the shell, so like the shells will be kind of upside down, and like the snail is in there, just kind of marinating in like garlic butter. And again, I've had some places that put like pesto in there too. They're very good. I like very, very good. Like once you eat one, you're like, oh, this is nothing. This is delicious and it's easy.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm gonna videotape my first time doing it. So
Sweet.
see what the fans think.
Yeah, do it.
So, what would your final meal be?
Probably something from the ocean.
Gotcha.
Probably like fish, and I don't know. Fuck, that's too hard because I like everything. I like burgers, I like healthy food, I like fucking everything. So in that mindset, I just feel like I might want a fish just to think
Gotcha.
about the ocean before I die.
That makes sense.
Like, that's the Catholic Christmas dinner, the 7 fishes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe-
Yeah. My Italian family does that. So.
Oh, you're Italian?
Yeah. Well, Italian American. I'm not from Italy. I'm third generation.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, you've got some Italian heritage. I don't know that I'd be hungry if I was about to die. I wouldn't want to eat. That way I could prolong the sentence.
Yeah. Or maybe just a bottle of bourbon.
There. Oh, yeah, for sure. Oh,
Yeah.
for sure.
12,
Just give me drugs, okay? Let's be real here, please.
A bottle of bourbon and an 8-ball.
Give me enough drugs to kill me.
Exactly. All right. We mentioned music earlier. So the second question is, now that they actually do this now, they could take your ashes if you get cremated and form it into a vinyl record. So if you were going to have your ashes eternalized,
You can play?
yeah, an actual record. Yeah. So if you were going to have your ashes eternalized in a record, which album would it be?
One of the first ones I ever listened to was my dad used to always play Led Zeppelin. So I think forever that was my favorite band until I got sick of trying to figure out what the fuck they were saying.
Yeah.
So maybe Led Zeppelin. Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
I don't know, but the Foo Fighters are more badass.
Dave Grohl is pretty badass. So.
I think he's played on stage with members of Led Zeppelin, actually.
Oh, really? Yeah,
Yeah.
Robert Plant did a tour. He formed a band, the Band of Joy.
Yeah, I think
That's
two of the members of Led Zeppelin did like several shows with the Foo Fighters at one point.
I did not know that. I am so pissed that I didn't get to see them.
The last question is, we normally say who's on your Mount Rushmore of punk rock, but who is on your Mount Rushmore of the adult film industry? And you get 5 people, so you get a crazy horse too. So
Okay, 5 people.
Yeah.
To be honest, I've always been more a fan of the girls than the guys.
Me too.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
no, I'm just kidding. Okay. Hang on. Can they all be me?
They could all be
Yep.
5
Yes.
Natashas. I love
Five,
Yes.
like Natasha at 18, Natasha at 25,
Yes.
Natasha. Okay.
That would probably be my Mount Rushmore of porn. So,
Natasha's butthole,
yes.
my tits with my tongue out, and me with a bunch of Blackhawks.
Yes. I would love that poster. That'd be awesome.
I might make it for you.
Awesome.
I'll get one of the fans to do it. Actually, never mind.
Awesome. So what do you have coming up? Is there anything that you have in the works as far as films, or do you want to just plug your OnlyFans?
Yeah, I do have some movies coming out that I shot earlier in the year, and some more stuff going on in June, but I am traveling most of July and part of August. I have been working a lot more on my OnlyFans, shooting a ton of content for that, and I have a lot of content coming soon. That is onlyfans.com/be nice Natasha. Be like the word be, to be, not to be. Be nice Natasha. And then my Twitter is be nice Natasha as well.
Cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for doing this.
Okay, my pleasure.
Really appreciate it.
Oh wow, it's already been an hour. You guys are so fun to talk to.
Yeah. Thanks.
You're welcome. Thank you guys. All right, have a good Sunday.
You
All
too.
right, later.
Bye.
Thanks for hanging out for another week. Be sure to check out punkboxrocks.com and merchslut.com. Check us out on all social media outlets at ourbrainshurt and at ourbrainshurt.com. We will talk to you next week. Stay safe. Adios.
How do I do this shit? I can still hear you. So what do I have to press? Close.